Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. And there's a Bennie Frank Johnson. He's 66 years old. He's in the news. He sexually abused 3 generations of the same family. 3. Now, like I said in the post recently, when people came into the earth in the early 20th century, all up to maybe the 1970s, 80s, yes, let's say the beginning of the 1980s, that batch that came in early 20th century for those first 75 to 80 years, they were met with a whole lot of temptations. Let's use a nice word. Temptations. And depending on the happenstance of their situation, let's say they are part of the slave heritage. Let's say they came in from people who came from slavery. Let's say they are living in an island. Let's say they're living in a place where slaves were. They had a monumental task of trying to avoid and to succeed at avoiding temptations. Now, when this man assaulted the first set of his family members, they should have spoken up. They should have gotten rid of him. He should have been put in jail. The second set, for sure. The third set, an 8-year-old. 8 years old. Now, he got pompous. He was bold. He figured, well, the others didn't talk, so I can go to have relations with even younger members of the family. And it's not to say that newborn babies were not being affected. There's no memory. You have no memory. And when there's a pedophile in the family, usually they stop at a certain age, usually so that you won't remember. And they may go to the neighbors, they may go elsewhere to satisfy that part of them that is uncurable. You cannot cure it. It cannot be cured. But this guy got 2 sentences, 2 life terms. He's not getting out of jail. He's 66 years old. He's going to die in jail. Okay. He's going to die there. But I blame the family, because when it got to the point where he was in the 3rd generation and he raped the 8-year-old, then the mother said, well, he did the same thing to me too. If he did it to you, why did you give him access to your child? If he did it to you and to the generations before you, why did he have access to new kids coming on board? Why did he have access to them? When you put these males in jail, you should put the females in jail too. They need to be held accountable. They need to be something needs to happen to them too, for them to have left their child in harm's way. So Bennie Frank Johnson, he's off and he's going to die in jail. But there are thousands more like him out there. Thousands more like him. Trust no one. And if you are having kids, trust no one with that child. And if you are having kids on top of kids and on top of kids and you are poor, you cannot even trust the kids you're having, and they're sleeping in the same bed and they're not being watched. You have to go to work because there's no man coming to help you. You need to be dragged off to jail when the man or the male who violates your kids, when they're dragging him off, they need to come and drag you off too, because you are the one. You are the ones who are having kids, not having no means of support. You're poor. You yourself are poor. And you're having kids when you should not be having kids. You're not thinking. You're ill. You're ill. And something needs to happen to you. Close your wombs. Poor females, if you cannot support a child on your own. If you cannot do it on your own, stop doing it. Close your womb. Start thinking. Try to get some common sense. Again, Bennie Frank Johnson, he's just one, and millions are out there abusing kids. There are a whole lot of black kids out there that are not being cared for, and there's always a predator, always one lurking. So the females need to be held accountable. This is Sherry Veronica.